In this position in 1996, Super Grandmaster Judit Polgar creates one of the most brutal attacks you've ever seen. Let's see what happens here. So in the game, Judit starts the combination off with pawn to g5, trying to open up the king. But this relinquished the defense of the f5 square, and the opponent goes knight to f5, attacking the rook. But you know Judit isn't just going to move the rook, she grabs the pawn on h6. With the point that after they grab the rook, she wanted to play pawn to h7 check. And now if you take the pawn with the king, we capture the knight with the rook, and after king to g8, we go queen to h1, and you're getting checkmated. So instead, the opponent hides behind the pawn with king to h8. But now we grab the knight with the knight, and this is creating the threat of knight to g6 check. And after the pawn takes, we capture back with the other knight, forking the king and the queen. So the opponent goes knight to f4 to guard the square. But after knight to f4, Judit shows why she's an absolute genius. She finds queen to b4, just completely sacrificing the queen and also just attacking this knight on f4. And the point of this move is that now if you capture the queen, the point is knight to g6 check, sacrificing the knight so the rook can defend the pawn, and after they take the knight, knight to f7 is checkmate. So you can't take the queen, but this queen is also attacking the knight, which is defending against knight to g6 check. So the opponent finds a very nice defensive move, pawn to g5. Now defending the knight and giving the king some breathing room. But this weakened the dark squares and Judit punishes it. She plays queen to d4, now setting up a discovered check. And you can't go pawn to f6 because then there's knight to g6 check winning the queen, so the opponent goes king to g7. But now Judit finishes it off with knight to f5 check, sacrificing the knight because after the pawn takes, they promote, forcing the queen to take, and now the queen is on a square that can be attacked by the knight with knight to f7, defended by the bishop and winning the queen. The opponent resigns the game.